What's up, watchers? Will here with another Black Panther video for you, and today we are talking about one of the supporting characters who appeared in Civil War. Today, we talk about Everett Ross. Thanks to an interview with the actor for him, Martin Freeman, we get some insight into what makes this Ross so different from his original comic counterpart, originally from the Priest run of Black Panther. If you are unfamiliar or don't remember the comic version of Ross, he's a US State Department member tasked with keeping track of King T'Challa during his tenure in the United States. He can be a little timid at times, but still manages to be pretty dedicated to his position and actually becomes one of the more informed outsiders on Wakanda and its customs, to the point where T'Challa and his family consider him a valuable ally that they've risked their lives on more than one occasion. Now, when comparing the original Ross to the movie version, who is, as we last saw him, a deputy task force commander in the Joint Counterterrorism Center as he works under Thaddeus Ross, who is of no relation. The interview highlights that this takes on a new character and will be different in kind of stripping the, quote, goofy white guy among cool black people, end quote, shtick that can sometimes be played out. Freeman discussed with director Ryan Coogler, and both agreed to take the character in a more well-rounded, less comedic direction. Freeman describes him as the coolest man in the room. He has some authority, he's good at his job. I think we're going as realistic as you can be in a heightened universe. It would be slightly incredible for him not to be good at his job and not to be competent at this position that he's at. He's good at his job. He's well-traveled. He's well-versed in the ways of the world. Wakanda is going to be a surprise to him, but in terms of meeting diplomats, kings, that's not particularly phasing to him. He meets superheroes, so I think some of his humor comes from exasperation rather than being dumbfounded. That's not his function in this. He also notes that they tried to maintain ambiguity in this film as to whether or not he is an ally or threat to Wakanda, and that is something we will have to discover for ourselves once we see the movie. But there does still seem to be a little bit in line with his comic depiction once we get to the sort of elephant in the room where he states, quote, I'm the American in the story. So I think even more than the racial thing, actually, it is the country thing. I am the Western American CIA guy, and I'm in Africa, in a country that no one else knows about. And it's a very tight-knit, insular community. That's how they've managed to do so well, because they've kept it all to themselves, which is another kind of interesting part of the politics of the film. So I think that's always interesting to be in, because at some point, inevitably, what you're playing feeds back into the dynamic of who's playing it. Suffice to say, I'm not being bullied. It's okay. It's lovely. It's very friendly. But you're always aware that this character is slightly outside of it. He's trying to find his way in without ingratiating himself, you know? Without trying to sort of going, hey, let me be your friend, because he's not that guy. He would survive without friends, definitely, but he's trying to understand the world he's in, and they are very, very slowly, some more than others, very suspiciously letting him in drip by drip. I think when he proves some form of usefulness, of course, then there's a quid pro quo thing that, you know, he's not a free passenger, that he can actually bring something to the party, end quote. So from the looks of it, Freeman and Coogler are giving us a more headstrong, competent depiction of the character, as opposed to the original, more apprehensive Chandler Bing type version. Hopefully, it all plays out well. Let me know your thoughts on this version of Everett K. Ross down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Hybrid Network. Also, check out our website and Patreon for more content. I'm Will, and I'll see you next time.